Hello, world, and welcome to the Quick Kick Picks presented by Bros Talking Soccer. My name is Dave Knittel, and I am here with a well-lit Christian Knittel, my brother Christian. Hello, how are you doing?
Well, Dave, I'm lit, so that's always good.
Yes, it is. You're looking very bright. We got your lighting situation figured out, which is always good.
Look at
Thank you
that.
for joining us here on this video. Viewers, I'm just going to power through Christian trying to interrupt me there. We're talking about MLS Match Week 19. We have a full slate of 24 teams playing, 12 matches to talk about. Christian, are you excited? Are you
I'm
ready?
so excited. I can't be more excited, and I'm
I
so
can
ready to talk about
sense
it.
it
I just,
in your voice.
Dave, if there was one more thing in this world I'm more excited about, I'm scared to know what it is.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, play along with us. Leave your predictions. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment below or preferably reply over on Twitter at BT SoccerPod with what you expect to happen in each of the matches. Score lines. If you get the home team score correct, that is a point. If you get the away team score correct, that is a point. If you get the result correct, that is a point for you. And if you get all three of those correct, you get a bonus 2 points. So there's 5 points up for grabs in every single match. The highest score at the end of the month will get a 15-minute guest appearance on our podcast. If you haven't given predictions before, no worries. You can make up a ton of ground quickly, or you can lose ground very quickly. If you're myself, Christian didn't even give predictions last week, and I only put up 5 points. So not a great performance by myself. And you can
I
definitely
even
catch up.
gave you the option to catch up, and you couldn't even do it.
Yeah, I know. So, but listeners, viewers, you can catch up very quickly. So give your predictions there.
Or you
Last
could
thing,
mustard.
with every single match, we restrict ourselves to about 2 minutes because Twitter restricts the amount of time that we can upload because we're not a big, media company or whatever. So we only get 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that's why we have this timer here. You will hear a whistle once we are done talking about the matches. Christian, anything you would like to say to the viewers before we get going?
Yeah, so you might hear a whistle, and you might not. We never know how loud it's going to be.
Yeah, I cannot figure out this damn phone, but whatever. Let's get into the matches. Kicking things off on Friday, July 12th, we have DC United hosting the New England Revolution at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Christian, what's going to happen here?
So I only could see a DC United win here. I know New England have bounced back a little bit recently with their new management, but I still just think DC are a better team, and there's a reason why they're second place. I know that they haven't been playing their elite brand of soccer, that they were like really, I mean, they were never elite, but they were always like challenging in the Eastern Conference. But I just don't see New England having the real quality on the road to get a result here. And I think it's going to be somewhat close, but I still think DC United defensively are pretty stout, and they have the players to create chances. So I think this game ends up being 2-0 in the end. It will be tight throughout, but I think that they will find the breakthrough and be comfortable in the end.
So I think it's going to be tight, and it's going to remain tight throughout. I do have DC United getting a 2-1 win here, but DC only has one MLS win since May 12th when they beat SKC. So over their last 8 matches, they only have one win. New England, meanwhile, they signed a new striker. I don't know if he's going to be playing here. They haven't lost in MLS since Arena was hired in the middle part of May, and that's 6 matches. And so, again, I think that you might be doing New England a slight disservice there by saying that, they aren't quite as talented. I do think ultimately DC getting back Areola is going to be the difference in this one. He's going to be a big boost for them, and maybe he plays a role in one of the goals, and that's why it ultimately ends up as 2-1. But I don't know if DC is just going to roll over New England the way you made it seem.
Okay, I mean, I didn't say that they're going to roll over them, but I could only see DC winning this game. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy for them, but they have the quality players to get the job done, especially at home.
All right, fair enough. But I still think I've been
Don't
very
twist
impressed
my
with
words.
New England. I've been very impressed with New England under Arena, and I want to give them props here, and I wouldn't be shocked if New England is able to find a draw in this one. I do think it ultimately ends up 2-1 to DC. Whoa, look at that. That is a decent volumed whistle. Next match, we are talking about Houston Dynamo is hosting LAFC at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, July 12th. Now, Houston hasn't been in the greatest run of form over their last few matches, but they are significantly better at home than they are on the road. And so with them being at home, it's going to be a boost for them here. LAFC, meanwhile, they only have 2 losses on the season, but both of them have come on the road. They're still picking up 1.8 points per game on the road, which would be a fantastic number overall. And the fact that they're picking that up on the road is ridiculous. And quick little fun fact here, they're playing the first of 3 straight Friday matches, which is something weird and funky. It's not going to have any impact on this game, but it's just a little fun fact. I hope you enjoy it, and that's why you come here to Bros Talking Soccer. I think this might be one of the best matches of the weekend. I think it's going to be an exciting 3-3 draw. Goals for everybody. Christian, what do you expect to happen?
I definitely expect goals, and I expect LAFC to come out of this with a win, although I think the Dynamo have only lost 1 game at home all season long, and they've only dropped points maybe in 3 games total. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they haven't dropped much. Recently, it has dropped off, though. I think 2 of the games they have dropped points at home were 2 of their last 3 games. One against Minnesota, and I forget who they drew, and I think it was their last home game, but they haven't been as just exciting to watch as they were early on in the season, and they were really in position to challenge LAFC for a little bit. I didn't think anyone was actually going to be able to stay with them the whole season, but LAFC just are an incredibly attacking, creative team, and defensively they are insane as well. So I don't see anybody really challenging them. I think in one-off games, that a team can play with them for 60 minutes, and hopefully that they get a goal or 2 in that time, because they know that they're going to be coming down your throat late on if you're losing. So LAFC, I think, wins this game. I think it's going to be very, very close, and I agree with you. It's going to be a lot of goals. I think they win this game 3-2.
3-2 to LAFC. Okay, so expecting goals in that one. Next match we are talking about, we have the LA Galaxy hosting the San Jose Earthquakes at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Cali Clasico reverse leg. We saw the other match a few weeks ago. Christian, what's going to happen here?
So I just don't know what's going to happen in this one. These rivalry games are so hard to predict because both teams just feel the energy from the crowd, and anything can really happen. San Jose won 3-0 in the reverse fixture, 2 match rounds ago? I don't even know how long ago that was.
Yep.
Was it 2 weeks ago? Not even at this point.
2 weeks ago.
And I think we're going to see not the same, but I think we're going to see the same fiery passion, and I think we're going to see a closer game this time around. I think LA wins this game just because it is at home, and they'll have their fans supporting them this time. But I expect it to be very, very cagey, very physical, and I don't expect a lot of goals to be scored. I'm thinking maybe 2 goals are scored in this game, and I think LA will probably get them both in a 2-0 victory.
So I have 2 goals victory for LA as well, but I have it being 3-1. I think that LA is going to benefit from Jonah Dos Santos and Oriel Antuna coming back into the lineup. They didn't have them in the previous match. Zlatan is going to be motivated after losing the reverse leg 3-0. I think that San Jose, they've been in a great run of form over recent weeks, but they still only have 1 road win all season on the road. Road win on the season on the road. That's how I'm going to say that. And so for those reasons, I expect LA to come out firing. They come out hot, and to get maybe a goal in the first half and then really start to pull away in the second half. Maybe it goes to 3-0 and then San Jose gets one back late. But I expect LA to come out firing and to get 3 goals here. What's up?
Nothing.
Okay. Anything else to add on this
Nope,
game?
Nothing on this one.
All right. Yeah, Christian's very enthralled with this. He's taking calls as we're recording the videos. But yeah, I expect LA to come out firing in that one and get a 3-1 win. Moving to Saturday. Let me get that whistle. There it is. And it's quiet again. No idea what's going on there. Getting to Saturday, July 13th, we have the Montreal Impact hosting Toronto FC at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so Montreal is coming off of a midweek Canadian Championship match. I think that's what it's called, their version of the U.S. Open Cup. And I cannot for the life of me figure out this Montreal team. I think that they're good, and then they lose at home to Minnesota after taking the lead twice. I think that they're bad, and then they beat Seattle and Portland. It's just like I have no idea what to make of this team. They're still hovering kind of towards the top of the Eastern Conference table, even though they have a negative goal difference, and I just don't know what to expect from them. Meanwhile, Toronto, I kind of know what to expect, and it hasn't been good so far this year. They've made some moves in the summer transfer window. Yep, that's the right way to say that. They're getting Josie and Michael back from international duty. Omar Gonzalez will be coming into the lineup. I don't know if he's going to be starting or not, but he's had time to integrate there, and so I wouldn't be shocked if he's starting in this one. Since their May 4th win over Orlando, they only have 1 win, 4 draws, and 6 losses. They're just not in a great run of form. You could tell me either team is going to win this, but I'm ultimately predicting a 2-2 draw. Christian, what do you expect?
Okay, so I think their goal is the same as all of ours, is to make Dave wrong, and I think that's what they've been doing for the whole season. When you predict, are they good or are they bad? They always just do the opposite.
Yep.
So I think they're just on board with the rest of us. So I think that Montreal are one of the most unpredictable teams in this league. I agree with you that I can't figure them out at all. I think Piatti missing for the majority of the season so far has not helped that, and when he does come back and is in full fitness and full form, I know, but
he might be transferred, right?
I guess that's true, but
yeah,
he is definitely a linchpin in that attack, and he's clearly missing. And so in the games that they do look just very disheveled and not organized, specifically in the attack, it's because they're missing their key man. But at the same time, Toronto just have too much talent right now to fail. So I can't understand why they are in the position they are in. I think that they end up getting a 2-1 road win here.
Toronto 2-1 on the road. Next match we're talking about, we have Orlando City hosting the Columbus Crew at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Christian, what are you expecting to happen here?
I'm predicting an Orlando win just because the Columbus Crew are one of the most shambolic franchises in MLS right now. I think that they are the second worst team probably, and I think we can comfortably say that at this point in MLS. I don't know what happened to them, but they clearly just are lacking a lot of. I understand they also sent a lot of players out on international duty during the Gold Cup as well. They get some of them back now. Zach Steffen is officially gone though, so he will not be returning to Columbus. I don't know how much of a difference he could make because of their back line being just as bad as it is, but I just do not have confidence in them to get points on the road, especially with Zardes and Trapp coming back. I don't expect them to come into the team immediately. I think Orlando comfortably sees this game out in a 3-1 victory.
I am predicting a Columbus victory here. Now, Christian, everything you said is spot on. Columbus has been probably the worst team in the league after the start. I think they were relatively good through the first 6 games, and then they've been just terrible. But having said that, Orlando has played 6. This will be their 6th match in 18 days, and they still have 2 more matches coming up in this week. It's an absolute gauntlet that they're going through right here. They played 120 minutes against New York City. They won on penalties in the Open Cup midweek, so they're progressing in that competition, and I just feel like they might have a little bit of a letdown here. Touching on Columbus, they're in the middle of a 5-match losing streak. They haven't won in MLS since May 8th, but getting Giassi and Will Trapp back, and they're also making some roster moves. They signed a goalkeeper, the Curaçaoan, I don't know the right way to say that, the goalkeeper from Curaçao is joining them, and so I think those things combined with getting Giassi and Trapp back will give them a little boost, and they're able to nick a 2-1 road victory here. Anything else you want to add?
I just can't believe that you're going with a road victory for Columbus here.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess you need to make up some points somehow, and this is the way.
Yeah, and now it's quiet again. No idea what is happening with this whistle. Next match we're talking about, we have the Chicago Fire hosting FC Cincinnati at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we were just talking about Columbus. Christian said they're the second worst team. I think we know who the worst team is, and that would be FC Cincinnati, unfortunately. Now, Chicago, they're similar to Montreal for me in that I just don't know what I'm going to get out of this team every week. They score tons of goals, then they lose, and then they get shut out against SKC, who hasn't had the greatest season, and so I really just don't know what to expect from them. Having said that, playing against FC Cincinnati is generally a good recipe to getting your any sort of woes corrected, and I expect them to score a ton of goals here. I expect them to get at least 4, and this one to end up 4-1. Cincinnati, though they did win against Houston on July 6th. That was their first win since May 11th. They hadn't picked up a point in that stretch of 6 matches. It was 6 consecutive losses. Christian, do you know what their goal difference was over those 6 matches? Guess.
-19.
Holy hell, that is exactly correct. That is amazing. I did not think you were going to get that. They scored
I'm very good.
5 goals. They scored 5 goals and they conceded 24. That was not as much fun for me. Chicago wins 4-1 here. Christian, what are you expecting to happen?
Well, I had a lot of fun with that, so thank you for bringing the trivia in here. But I think that this is a clear Chicago victory in this one. I think that they are a very unpredictable team, not as much as Montreal, but I think the Fire consistently are creative in the attack, and they will score goals in every single game. But defensively, I just have question marks over if can they keep a team out. Not this team, though. I have confidence they could keep this team out, but I don't think this is going to be a very entertaining game to watch unless you just like watching goals for the Chicago Fire. I think this game is going to be a comfortable victory for the Fire in a 4-0 victory at home.
So we both have Chicago getting 4 goals and FC Cincinnati. I'm getting one. Christian has them getting none. And yeah, I'm glad that the game was fun for you. I can't believe you got that correct. Next match we are talking about, we have Minnesota United hosting FC Dallas at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Christian, what do you expect to happen here?
So Minnesota have been very, very good at home, and they have been good on the road at times too in recent weeks. So they're one of those sneaky teams, those ones that just sneak around and somehow get points, and you never really look at them until you're in the playoffs, and you're like, wait, how did you get here? That's exactly what they are. I think FC Dallas are a team that are pretty mid-table. There's nothing really too flashy about them, but they're a somewhat talented squad, and they have a couple of future, I think, U.S. players probably in that team. But I just don't think that on the road in Minnesota, it's just a completely different environment. I don't think Dallas are going to walk in there and get anything from this game, especially with the way Minnesota are playing right now. They're able to score goals. They are able to keep goals out of their own net as well. So I think Minnesota wins this game probably. I'm going 2-1 and think it's going to be closer than we expect, but I've seen that score.
Yeah, and so I'm in agreement. I have Minnesota winning, but I have them winning 2-0, and that's not really a knock on Dallas. It's more trying to give Minnesota props. And so they had a relatively good start to the season. Then they went into some sort of shaky form over their next probably 5 to 8 matches. And then since then, they have 6 straight wins across all competitions. Midweek, they completely destroyed New Mexico United. They're 5-3-1 at home on the season, and they have played 2 matches since FC Dallas last played, so fatigue may play a role here. But again, I just have Minnesota playing at home. Even though they played midweek, they were at home. This one's going to be at home, so that's going to be a benefit there. Dallas, meanwhile, last played on July 4th, and that was a comfortable 2-0 win over DC United, and they have talented players. It's just, again, getting back to it, I just really like what this Minnesota team is doing, and especially at home. I'm getting a 2-0 win here. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right, let's talk about, there it is, still figuring out this damn phone. Vancouver Whitecaps hosting Sporting Kansas City at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Vancouver, much like Montreal, had a midweek Canadian Championship match. They haven't won since May 25th. And their last 10 matches across all competitions, they have 1 win, 6 draws, and 3 losses. So Vancouver's not in a great run of form here, other than a 2-goal loss to the LA Galaxy and a 5-goal loss to LAFC. Every single one of their matches has been a 1-goal game. So generally speaking, they keep matches close and they keep them tight, but they're not generally ending up in their favor. Now, SKC won at home. I think it was, at home over Chicago on July 6th. That was their first clean sheet win at home since March 10th in MLS. Sadly, though, this one is going to be on the road. I think they give up a goal, and this one ultimately ends up as 1-1. SKC is 1 win, 4 draws, and 4 losses, so they're not the greatest road side, but they have shown an ability to get draws on the road, and that's why I think this ends up 1-1. Christian, what are you expecting?
Yeah, so I expect a draw as well. I'm going to guess a 2-2 draw here. I think there is going to be goals in this game. I just don't think that either team defensively really have shown that they can keep goals out, and both teams have shown just creative ability over and over again at times in the season. I'm not saying every single game we've seen that, but especially Sporting Kansas City, they have just been not very, very good. And you expect a team with the players that they have to be able to create chances and to score goals. So I think as the season goes on, I know we're halfway through at this point, it's got to get better from them. They've got too much talent. Vancouver, on the other hand, like you said, only one win in 10 games is not what you're looking for, but they have close games. And even those two LA teams, there's nothing like to be ashamed about losing heavily to those two
And
teams. They're very good.
they did win at home against LAFC too. So and
Exactly.
that was a 1-goal victory. So I
So,
mean, they've shown that they can get results.
yeah, and I think that they will get a result here, but I don't see them getting a win. I think this is going to be a tight 2-2 draw.
Next match we're talking about, we have we have Real Salt Lake hosting the Philadelphia Union at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Christian, what are you expecting to happen?
I just don't know anymore. The Philadelphia Union are just a head scratcher for me. They're too. Wow, that's funny. You scratched your head.
I know that was fantastic timing.
Yeah.
Comedic timing is just on point.
I don't know what to expect from them either. So they are too good to be dropping the points that they are right now, and that's where I'm going to sit. I stand. Specifically at home, I think on the road they are able to get results more, and I don't really have an explanation for that other than maybe there is more space on the counterattack when you're on the road. But Real Salt Lake at home have been pretty decent. I mean, they haven't been lights out, but they've gotten results over and over again this season. So I think that they have a pretty good crowd too, it seems, every year. So they are able to generate fan atmosphere. I think it's going to be a very tough game for the Union to walk into, and I expect Real Salt Lake to walk out of this with a win in a very tight game. And I'm guessing a 1-0 victory here because of the Union's inability to finish their chances over and over again.
Okay, I just feel like your fandom's coming out there. The Union is still one of the highest scoring teams in the league. And yeah, they played relatively poor against Orlando and they just sleepwalked through that game, but they still have talent. I really like what Shabilko has done. Wooten, their new signing, or Wooten, is going to be in the 18, whether it's Fafa or Santos. They've generated chances. I still think we haven't seen the best out of Santos. I think it's going to be critical if El Sino or Montero are going to be back because their skill set just allows the Union to sometimes just rely on them to create things. And so I think it would be big if either of them can play here. Now, RSL, you touched on it, Christian. They've won their last 4 MLS matches at home. They have 8 goals scored and only 1 conceded over that time. They have very talented attackers, Rusnak, Savarino, Baird, among others, but they are vulnerable in the back. And so I actually have this one ending up as a 2-2 draw. RSL have no draws at home, so this would be the first one of the season. So that's a little fun fact for you. Anything else?
Wow, Dave's predicting a trend-setting break.
There you go. Okay, that's it. All right, next match we're talking about. We have the Portland Timbers hosting the Colorado Rapids at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in our nightcap. I don't know why I started singing there. That was really weird. But in this one, I have Portland getting a comfortable victory. Now, they have had a pretty crazy week. They won at NYC FC last weekend. Then they went to LAFC and won midweek in the Open Cup. Those are 2 really difficult matches, and to do it on a short rest with travel, that was incredible from them. They have 3 straight 1-0 wins across all competitions, and 5 of their last 6 matches have been clean sheet. Meanwhile, though they've only been shut out twice all season, both of them came on the road at Atlanta and at Seattle. Since the Hudson firing, their 5 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses, and their only 1 win came on the road during that time. They only had 1 win on the road. That's what I'm trying to say there. Sometimes I get confused with my notes. Still the second worst defense in the league, and with what Portland is putting together with their attack, and I just have Portland rolling at home with a 3-0 win. Christian, what do you have happening in this one?
I absolutely see Portland winning this game, and they've been really, really good defensively in the past couple of weeks. Obviously, as you touched on, they've gotten a bunch of 1-0 victories, but I think Colorado, we've seen them score goals, and I think they're going to get 1 goal here. I do think Portland win this game, and I'm going to say another 3-goal victory. I think it's going to be a 4-1. I think Colorado has been riding a high of new management, and eventually that's going to crack. I don't think that their team is very exciting, but obviously they are scoring goals. I just think defensively there are question marks over this team. So on the road at Portland in a hostile atmosphere, it's going to be much more difficult for Colorado, and I think it's going to be a 4-1 victory for Portland here.
I think it's fair to call out Colorado's defense, but I think they do have a somewhat solid foundation. They made a lot of trades. I think that they learned from the Anthony Hudson, I think was his name, the manager, Alan Hudson, whatever he was. He brought in outside players. Then this offseason, they got some MLS players and sort of, I think it was smart to get MLS vets. And, I just want to give them props here, but I still have them losing by 3 goals. Getting to Sunday, July 14th, we have the Seattle Sounders hosting Atlanta United at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to say BS on that kickoff time. I don't think that that's the actual kickoff time. But Christian, what are you expecting to happen here?
Yeah, that is a weird kickoff time to have listed on here. But it's probably, 4 p.m.? It's probably the actual kickoff
It's probably
time
like 4:08,
Yeah, like a normal. I think this is probably the highlight game of the weekend, up there with New York. I don't know. Those 2 games on Sunday are going to be absolute crackers. Yeah, crackers.
I think Friday games are underrated too.
They are, but I still think that these 2 are the biggest games of the week on Sunday, and there's a reason why they're on Sunday. So I think Seattle at home are going to win this game, and that's going to be, I don't know, it might be unpopular, but Atlanta on the road has been seen to be, I don't know, just caught out and not prepared for certain games. So I think that this game is going to be a lot of chance creation for Seattle. I think they get a couple of players like Jordan Morris back, obviously, from international duty. And they were missing a lot of people, actually, right? They were missing
Roldan and Rui Diaz.
Yeah, so I think that's going to make a substantial impact. Atlanta weren't missing as many players. They were missing a few. But I think that Seattle are going to benefit more from the international break ending, and they're just going to get the job done at home. Seattle just have too much talent in that attack, and they're going to score goals. Atlanta will also score a goal in this game. I just think it's going to be a 3-1 Seattle victory.
I'm in agreement on the scoreline. Seattle, they haven't lost at home in MLS. 7 wins, 2 draws, and no losses. This is only their second home match since May 15th. You already touched on the players they're getting back. Atlanta, meanwhile, they played midweek in the Open Cup, and then they need to fly cross-country. I think there's going to be a little bit of fatigue going on there. And Christian, you touched on them not being a great road side. They only have 3 wins, no draws, and 6 losses on the road. They've also lost 4 straight on the road in MLS play. 4 goals scored, 11 conceded. That's why I think Seattle gets a 3-1 win. Anything else?
Nope.
Final match of the weekend, and this might be the highlight of the weekend. We have the New York Red Bulls taking on NYC FC in the Hudson River Derby on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Red Bull played an absolutely wild match against Atlanta. They ended up drawing 3-3, and they have a midweek match coming up against TFC. I don't think that'll play too much of a role in this one, and so I expect the Red Bulls, not sure why I said Atlanta, to come out with a strong lineup. I think Brian White will be at center forward, and he's proven to be effective, whether he's getting goals or just occupying center backs and opening up space. Meanwhile, NYC FC are dealing with a number of injuries, and they've played a number of matches over the last few weeks. They played midweek in the Open Cup, went 120 minutes against Orlando, and I think that will factor in to this. And so ultimately, I have the Red Bulls getting a 3-2 win. I expect there to be goals here, but I have the Red Bulls coming out on top. Christian, what are you expecting?
Yeah, NYCFC have played a lot of games, and they still have to play catch-up, which is just absolutely mind-boggling to me. They're still 4 games off the pace of the team that has played the most in the league, and that is just insane to me, but that's a whole other issue that I'll get on another day. I think that Red Bulls are going to be up for this game at home. They don't want to see their in-city rival winning MLS. So yeah, whatever. I know their state lines separate them, but they are both New York, so there is a huge rivalry there, and I think the Red Bulls are going to be up for this. They're only a point back of them. Yes, they've played, 3 games more? 2 games more right now, so they're going to want that insurance because NYCFC have a lot of games to make up. They have the most points per game, I think, in the Eastern Conference right now, and probably second most in MLS outside of LAFC. So they are incredibly a talented team for NYCFC, but I think on the road, they don't have that stupid field as an advantage, and the Red Bulls are going to get the job done in a 2-1 victory, I'm going to call here.
All right. Well said. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. That has been the Quick Kick Picks. Before we get out of here, we have stickers. If you want any stickers, hit us up on Twitter at BT Soccer Pod. We would love to send you some. Christian.
I would love a sticker.
Yeah, well, I'm coming home. Yes, I'm coming home in about less than a month, and I will be bringing you stickers, and so stickers for everybody. This has been Quick Kick Picks presented by Burrows Talking Soccer. We appreciate you joining us. We hope you're excited to watch all these matches. I am. We have four legit just big matches going on. I didn't even realize that till the end of this video. This is going to be a really good weekend for MLS action, and so hope you enjoy it. Christian, anything you would like to say to the listeners?
Let's go get some matches, please, guys.
All right. Go enjoy, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.